Hey guys, it's John with ReelBlue Custom Rods, and today we're going to do another episode on the truth about Versablend. And today's color code is 1007, and the color name is Bouquet. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Mardi Gras, as you can see back there. But we're going to see how this is going to turn out. So we're going to run a couple of strands, about 2 to 3 inches each. And we're going to see what this color or what this thread, what type of wrap this thread is going to produce. And also we've got 3 colors on here as well, like most of the Versablends. And so if we start, you can see kind of the purple, then we get to a green, then we get to a red, and then back to the purple. So today, for right now, this first one, we'll start right here on the green side. And we'll start making some wraps here. And we'll go ahead and cut that working end off. All right, and then we'll start turning this and see how this comes out. Again, this is Versablend. Versablend thread, which is size A only. It's a metallic thread, blended colors onto one line, and only comes on a spool of 100 yards. That is it. And I'm already kind of liking it. This is going to have kind of that, it's going to give us kind of that standout tiger wrap type look with one of these colors, I think, as we can see that's happening. So we're just going to keep turning this. And what's really weird is that green really is kind of hidden behind the purple or lavender color and the red colors on this thread. You really can't see much of the green. So we're just going to keep turning this and see what we get. See if that line is going to change a little bit. So you can see how it's coming out so far. That's pretty interesting. I'm really trying to see if this line, is going to change. I mean, it kind of comes around. I want to see it move back and forth, I think, a little bit more is what I was kind of hoping for. But we'll take a look and see. It might be actually changing a little bit right now as we speak. So you can see that like it dropped right there. Oh, this is interesting. So we're getting to be about 1.5 inches or so. Keep going a little bit more. And you can see that steep drop off right there that just happened a couple minutes ago. That steep drop off, and then it kind of came down again. But I really want, being a little selfish here, I really want that line to come close and far apart. Kind of, I want it to move a little bit more within the wrap. But we'll see how it comes out here. It actually is getting a little closer right here versus like here it's spaced out pretty far, and then here it's getting closer. So it is doing that a little bit. So that's how, when I say tiger wrap, I mean, it's really not a tiger wrap. And it's not like the tiger thread that Pro Wrap makes, which if you haven't seen a video on the truth about tiger thread, you can see that up here in the upper right hand corner on the orange and black that I did recently. But anyways, it's really not a tiger wrap per se, right? But it gives you that line, that pattern. Maybe they look like contour lines on a map. like terrain features, or they have that kind of tiger pattern, zebra pattern where it kind of moves within it. And that's what I like about that. And I think that's really cool, especially if you're doing if you're using this as some sort of under wrap on a heavier rod that you're building. I think this would really add character. Maybe not so much if you only get one line in this kind of space, but when you start getting closer lines and you start getting this darker line is moving around a lot more, I think that's what I like to see really is, I think that gives it a bit more character where that line is moving underneath as you're under wrap, you know. Oops, went over a little bit there. All right, so pick back up. Yeah, so you can see that line moves around a bit. There's that drop, and it came around, and we started getting close together, and it looks like it's kind of opening up a little bit again there. So what color would I choose as an over wrap for this? I would probably come in with some kind of green because of that metallic green that's in there. You can see that metallic green back there in the back. And then this green right here next to it. Of course, this is a nylon thread, so it's not going to match that directly, right? But maybe a darker green. Green and red always go well together. I don't know, maybe an NCP thread. That may be too bright, I think. But it could work because of that green metallic thread wrap that's in there. But I like the green. And I think also if you came back over with some sort of other, like a purple nylon thread, something like that, I think would look good. So again, just be creative and just use colors that are going to complement each other. You know, there's no, it's not a test, man. There's no right or wrong answer. You know, that's the great thing about custom rod building is you get to be creative as you want to be. So we're getting down here, we're probably at about 2.5 inches. We can see that line moves around in there pretty good. I think I'm going to call it quits for this one particularly. Let's tie that off. All right. Tie it off, and then what we'll do is we'll get started again. All right, so we'll pull that out. Then we'll cut this running in. All right. We're gonna set up. So what we'll do now is we're just gonna move down a little bit. And then we started with green last time. So let's start maybe like with the red right here. All right. Okay, so let's see how this is going to turn out. All right, let's see if we're going to get that red line. Yep, so that red line's starting to come in right there already. So again, I'd like to really see some closeness on that line. You know, kind of what we were getting over here, but later in the wrap, I'd really like to see that early on in this one. Again, this is the ProWrap Versablend color code 1007, which is bouquet. It's got a little bit of red, some green, and some light purple or lavender metallic thread in there. And then it predominantly, as you can see, really looks more red, brown-ish, if you will. But we're getting that little bit of that tiger line or whatever we want to call it, zebra line, tiger line. And it's not too bad. You can see, you know, a little bit in there. You know, we're getting a little bit of that line come down and then come around. Then we have another one coming over here. So I think that might get a little closer. Again, a great, you know, a great tool. I think the Versablend is great for, you know, under wraps. You know, if you're doing a guide wrap or an under wrap, excuse me, for a guide wrap, I think Versablend thread is a great way. Like I've said many times before, it's a great way to make the wrap or that rod unique, just because how the Versablend is going to give you a different look every time you use it. Basically, you're going to get, you know, this predominant line or the lines with the other colors. They're going to look different almost every time you do it. So that's just a way to make it unique and custom, right? No one rod looks the same if that's a thing that you're going for. Again, this video is not sponsored by anybody. You know, I purchased the wraps because I like them and I like to use them. And I thought it would be awesome to kind of, you know, do a truth about series on these things, just so you can see what they look like, what their color code numbers are, what their names are, and then how that thread can come out, so you can make an informed decision if this is something that you're considering on purchasing and or using on any of your future rod builds. So we keep turning. So those lines are coming in. So this one's definitely a little bit different. This first wrap down here kind of took a while to really kind of come together. This one is kind of really a little bit tighter from the beginning, but it is moving a little bit. Looks like it's getting even a little bit tighter as we're wrapping. And we'll go a little bit more. So definitely a little bit different. I'm looking at both of them here, which I'll show you guys. So we do kind of a side-by-side comparison. But this one is definitely a little bit tighter, kind of in the middle. So it's kind of wraps and then gets a little tighter right here, and then it starts spreading out again a little bit. And all right, so let's go ahead and tie this off. All right, so let's tighten that up. All right, and then come back and cut this off. All right, and then we can just kind of side by side these a little bit. So again, you see here on this first one we started with the green, and then we started wrapping, and it kind of took a while for that line to kind of mature, and then it's actually kind of, you know, spaced out pretty far apart. We got a quick drop right here. And then we started getting a little bit tighter, and then started getting a little tighter, versus over here, the second time we did this wrap, it basically didn't take as long to be a little bit closer together. And it even got a little tighter right about here, but then it starts opening up a little bit more. And again, the things to consider, right? Like all of these truth about Versablend thread wraps that I've been doing have been done on the same exact blank, starting at the same exact spot, this piece of tape here. And there was a reason for that. The rod diameter is the same no matter what. Each time I do one of these Truth About Versablend videos, the rod diameter is the same every time because I'm starting in the same exact spot. That being said, the things, like I've said before, the things that are going to change how this thread is going to respond to the rod that you're putting it on is the diameter of the rod, and then the diameter of the rod on the length or the span of the wrap that you're doing. So if the rod has a slow taper, that may cause the thread to kind of stay the same or slowly start to change a little bit. But if you have a very quick taper on a portion of a rod, it may cause the different colors of the Versablend thread to lie next to or closer to each other quicker, causing this line to change or move a little differently. Again, it's a great thing about this thread. It's going to always give you something a little bit different. So if you got something out of the video, hey, please feel free to share this video with somebody that you think they will find it useful. Make sure you hit the like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It's a great way to support the content that I'm doing. It takes a lot of time to put all these videos together for you. So if you would just subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. And make sure you watch this next video here. Until next time, guys, take care.